Journal entry, 23rd of the month of March, in the year of our Lord, 1071. After a long journey at sea, and beholding the mighty trade city of Venice, we have crossed the perilous paths of the Alps to escape the plagues and make our way north to the quaint town of Klingenberg, where the itinerant court of Kaiser Heinrich IV resides. There are opportunities aplenty in the various towns dotting these lands to make some coin, so we might stay for a while before embarking towards Constantinople. Cecilie, who I thought I had charmed in a local tavern, has instead laid her eyes on Hermenegildo, and the two of them are inseparable. Guillemette has no interest in men, and as such, I must content myself with the occasional bathhouse visit. Alas, the wenches are crude, and how much more thrilling would it be to hone my skills against a lady of status, and how much more satisfying yet to succeed. Bernard is most certainly feeling the lack of female companionship, but not just that, he has the ambition to reach somewhat higher. However, right now he's busy trying to learn the Iberian language, which is still going to take 7 months, so until that's complete, no further adventures are planned. We do have an opportunity to wrestle some animals, which is something we haven't done yet. So I believe that might be an interesting thing for the people of Kassel. The Count reminds them once more that theft of livestock will be punished harshly, no matter the tally or the reason. So that seems profitable if we can, and obviously we can take some of these animals to refill our provisions as well. So I believe that is a contract that we definitely want to take on. There's an art to stealing animals en masse. You need to know where you'll be taking them. You can't be subtle, but you have to look like you belong, and when you meet resistance, brutality needs to be swift. The risk of stampede or even just losing control of the herd otherwise endangers the whole endeavor, and when things go wrong, the profit sinks faster than a storm-tossed ship. Let's hope that the Count isn't guarding his livestock that well. Well, he's been publishing pamphlets about warning people not to nick his animals, which means he's probably somewhat aware of the risk, but we shall move in a small group, and we'll go around and see if we can organize the reappropriation of some livestock. We are building the torturous tools currently, which is almost complete, and then when that is done, and it is done, then I believe the next one, we've got 2 more things to do. So we do need to upgrade the pavilion to unlock the next slot. But I believe we have another option in the baggage train as well. I can't remember which one it was, but it unlocks another slot. It doesn't unfortunately tell me. Upgrading that to level 2 would cost 120 coin. Upgrading the pavilion to 3 would cost 350 coin. So I believe we'll do the baggage train next. I think one of them was, and I think that was in the baggage train was the subdued gear. No, sorry, the baggage train was the cages for the prisoner. So that actually even takes precedence. And then there's the supply something, and that has the subdued gear, which is I think the last one that I'm looking for. But for now, I will upgrade the baggage train, and we will get, and then once that's happening, then we'll get to it. All right, let's see what the situation is in Kassel. Our nightly raid carries us deep into the plains of Kassel, seeking vulnerable herds of goats to drive back to our roving camp. Though this area has seemed comparatively easy to brutalize so far, we've refrained from doing so, waiting to find the perfect target before unleashing our worst. Tonight, with the discovery of a teeming estate filled with fat kine, we found our target. Now comes the time for violence. So we can simply just cut down everybody, or we can we can try to do that more disciplined, and or it could get stressful. No, so we are simply going to. Well, we don't need to have to kill anybody, only if they oppose us. So if we go in, look threatening, and say that anybody who opposes us will be put to the sword, maybe we can get away without too much bloodshed here. So we'll go in looking menacing, and that will make the Count rather unhappy. But and he has lost some opinion of us. And now we are making our next step in Waldeck, where we are going to be doing the same thing, simply because my martial is good, but my prowess is better. So look dangerous and tell anybody that will cut them down. And there we have, despite the best attempts of Count Magnus's main lackeys, we have reclaimed a veritable horde of beasts from his ignominious clutches. Perhaps they're not naturally ours, but what does that matter to us? With sword and axe we have taken what we will, and any who would oppose us lie dead in their pastures. May their bodies provide good sport for the crows. We eat like kings tonight, and we have made 245 coin and 1,500 provisions, and have made some progress towards the poacher trade, which I think we haven't really had just yet. Yeah, what does that give us? Well, it makes everybody unhappy, obviously. It's nothing else really new. But general opinion. We are getting to the point where the general opinion is, what are we looking at? -14. The general opinion is starting to become a little tricky. So at some point we will be in a situation where the nobles of the lands will take notice, and then we'll have to deal with that slightly differently. But for now we have made a lot of coin, and there are a few more interesting things available. We can abduct some people. We can burn somebody's property. So I would definitely not want for opportunity, but we'll have a look. We'll have a quick look and listen to the story. Was I complete with? Yeah, I'm complete with the Hastilude Wit trait, which gives me 15, because that's actually stacking 15% lifestyle experience. So that's good to know. So for now, we are talking to Madalena. And we'll see. I could get my martial increased for 29 stress. I can take 29 stress, honestly. Because that'll be a guaranteed. I get it for ambition, for strangely enough, the stress. But it'll be guaranteed point in martial. So yeah, I'll take it. We'll lose some stress somewhere. Any interesting people in here? Not really. So for that, I think we're done here. We're good on supplies. Back to camp, and I'll be making my way around the area, burning some property, and potentially abducting a few people before we eventually have to move on. And the idea is to move eastwards towards the Hungarian lands, and then from there either towards Hungary or towards Croatia. That might also be through the Holy Roman Empire, and then into the Byzantine Empire to make our way towards Constantinople. We have done some work for Countess Adelheid of Dörn, a local noblewoman whose husband has died of mysterious causes quite a few years back. But she had asked us to abduct and disappear one of her enemies. But as we were there, we have noticed the amount of riches that were laying around in her castle. So we're back in Dern, but this time we're going to rob her. So let's get on with it to burgle the treasury, because if we see an opportunity for gold, then we are here for that. Our coffers are swelling nicely, and the camp seems mighty content. The camp seems mighty content with the overall way things going, and we're almost done with the baggage train upgrade as well, which is going to help along. So for now, let's rob the Countess. After we had done dirty deeds for her previously. After lots of hard work, I finally learned the Iberian vulgar language. Endless hours practicing accentuation, sleepless nights mimicking inflection, countless lessons mastering intonation. It was all worth it in the end. All right, I feel accomplished. I have learned the Iberian language, and now I believe it is time for me to focus on some other things. After we're done robbing the countess blind, that is. All in all, we have stolen 103 gold's worth of coin, and we're bringing an additional 230 gold worth of... yeah, she's rightfully angry. She had a pretty good opinion of us after we helped her, but yeah, now we're back to selling that loot. We'll be back to Klingenberg. However, during my travels towards the bishopric of Mainz, we have passed through the barony of Frankfurt. And the barony of Frankfurt is under the control of Princess Adelheid of the Holy Roman Empire, who has sworn herself to be in service of the Lord, and has forgone her titles and obviously the idea of marriage. So I believe that she will make an ideal target for, let me say, wooing a woman of status. And well, we'll see if we can get this pious lady to do some very unpious things. Well, we're passing through there again anyway, because we're the Prince Bishop Siegfried, who has a reasonably good idea of who we are, and actually does like us a bit for abducting somebody. Now he wants somebody not just abducted, but he wants somebody outright killed. So we'll be passing by, and that gives me a good opportunity to stop by Frankfurt and introduce myself to said lady. However, before we depart, given the rather large number of riches that we're currently carrying, I believe it would behoove me to have a lesson with Emmerich, the local master of arms at Klingenberg Castle at the training grounds. That is going to improve my prowess, but what I'm ultimately after is the Blade Master skill. So let's have a training session. Our prowess has been improved by 1, and with that we are off once more towards Mainz, because the Prince Bishop is once more demanding our services, and we will pass by the barony of Frankfurt on the way there. The baggage train update has been completed, which means we have a second internal upgrade slot. And where is it? Loyal scribes, bartering grounds, ransom cages. That's the one I wanted. So that'll allow me the abduct scheme, which I think I'm getting anyway from the, which actually means we don't need to waste a point for the kidnapper perk, because I can use the next. We're actually, by the way, we're making now. Due to the torturous tools that have been completed, we're making now 84 points of progress. So the next one I'm actually going to get is I look good in comparison, which allows me to use the secrets that we're dealing with to improve my prestige, which will give us eventually better contracts. So that's something we want. And then I'm thinking to actually switch over to stewardship for a little and get the golden obligations. I might get high stakes bartering as well, but I think we're making so much coin we actually probably don't even need it. Camp tax might be quite nice, but I'm especially on the road is something that I'm curious about. Wandering might also actually be quite useful as well. So there are a few things that we can take that are actually quite helpful, especially once we start bringing some troops in, because right now we're just a band of thieves, bandits, and miscreants. However, that is something That'll eventually trigger the local nobility into causing us quite some grief. Now, who does the Prince Bishop want eliminated? Luitpold, who is an idiot, which will make things easier. No idea why he hates him so much, but well, none of our business really. We'll get rid of him for him, of course. We have been working for the Prince Bishop before, and this reaffirms my opinion of the clergy that I had formed previously quite well. The Prince Bishop is happy and has lost some stress that has been caused by Luitpold, who has died under suspicious circumstances. So let's get out of here. Once again, passing by Frankfurt, and we'll be back in Klingenberg, where I believe we now have run out of opportunity. So unfortunately, this is still going to take quite a while to see if we can get into the good graces and under the habit of the princess. But we'll see if we can entertain ourselves in the meantime in the area a little bit. There might be a city around where we can. Yeah, there's the city of Wertheim. Let's see if we can find some. We'll probably travel around the cities for a bit and see if I can find some goods that I can, that will make my life easier. I'm looking for a nice dagger, probably some form of armor that would be a bit that I could hide pretty well. So ideally, probably nothing bigger than a chainmail, and whatever else we can get our hands on. We'll begin with a quick visit to Dürn, which is obviously Countess Adelheid's region, who we've just robbed, and who is understandably miffed about it. But let's see what the fine craftsmen have to say here. Let's see, weapons. Lidgard's dagger. That looks pretty decent. A wrought iron dagger of very fine craftsmanship, plain and undecorated, yet still striking in appearance. I think it's probably as good as I'm going to get from just a regular weaponsmith. How much is that going to be? 104? Yeah, I can afford it. So Luitgard, the smith, and we'll take her dagger for now until I find something better. What does armor look like? Yeah, this is all very average. Not really. How about accessories? I could get a crown or a ring for additional passive prestige income. I think I would take the ring, but we might fight better stuff in the other cities. So let's look around a little bit more. I'll have a quick look at I've done everything with the stories already. So let's look around in the surrounding cities. Hortberg under the Kaisers, and the Kaiser doesn't have a particularly grand opinion of us. But we'll travel around in his region for yet a while longer, and see if we can find anything interesting in here. Yeah, very basic weapons, not something I'm interested in. Very basic mail, and there is, I believe I already have a okay, I have a necklace already. I do need to carry my dagger now. It's give me an additional 6 prowess. Additional necklace, which further speeds up a romance phase. I'm not doing that. I don't have any intention of longer term with the princess. Of course, the princess doesn't know that, but yeah, not really that interested. So let's move on, and we shall make our way towards. Where do we have another city here? The city of Marburg. That will be our next stop, I believe. And then from there on out, how much longer is this going to take? 8 months. So from there on out, we might have to start looking for different opportunities, unless we find another item that piques my interest. Okay, we have made our way towards the town of Budingen and found Cotilda, the armorer, and she has made a flexible mail, which I believe will fit very well underneath the clothes that I wear. And it is not the most. It is not the most. Not the most powerful armor, but I think for more subtle work, it'll actually be a good choice. It is pricey, but I do have the coin, so I shall purchase that. And then we'll have a last look, but yeah, this is all very basic. So I think we're done here. And now it's time to see if we can find some more contracts before we move on, while I am still attempting my adventurous advances towards the princess of the Holy Roman Empire. I have a new perk available for intrigue, and I look good in comparison is what I'm going to be taking. So with that, I think we can now switch for now to stewardship, where I could get the golden obligations and start selling off the hooks that we're collecting, because we are collecting a fair few of those. We can get extra provisions, which is pretty good as well. But mostly what I'm interested in is the on the road for 25% travel speed. So let's do that for a while, and then we'll get back to intrigue. I think there are some interesting points here, but I do think I want to start going down this tree here afterwards. So for now, let us head over. It's not the greatest. It's relatively low experience, but we don't also want to stay on this for too long. So we're just going to grab a few opportunities to improve our income. I have decided that we should disappear into the forest for a little bit until things have blown over from our recent activity. The whole underworld is laying low a little in the immediate vicinity of the Kaiser, so we'll go for a hunt, and we will see what we can. Find. I would love to slay a beast, definitely. So let's see what we can do there. Once we have arrived, yes, we have arrived. And for 35 coin, that's pretty decent. Let us begin a hunt and see with my beautiful dagger. Let's see what we can get ourselves to. Of course, I have no right to hunt here in Count Ruprecht's slopes. I must purchase the right to do so, unless I want to be seen as an outlaw and a poacher. Oh dear, oh dear. No, of course we wouldn't want that. Yeah, I do not care. I shall hunt wherever I want. I could just purchase because I have a hook on the Count, because we have worked for the Count before, well, or we could just go further into poacher. Where are we on poacher? We are still on level 1 poacher. So this would be, this doesn't really have any positive. Okay, we get a stewardship point at level 3 poacher. So yeah, we should sort those rights. I hunt wherever I want. So let's get on with it. And they're all making this too complicated. It's much easier if you can just if you can just do whatever the heck you want. What are we going to go? So boar, dangerous. We could go for a wolf instead. Nah. Or for a stag. Nah. We're going for the boar. Well, let's get out of there and see what we can hunt down. My personal physician, Elchanan, has dismounted to squat in the dirt, carefully examining a narcissus flower. He appears to have lost all interest in the hunt. Look at these useful herbs and flowers here. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, sure. I'll let you do the flowers, and we've got enough people to go hunt. I think. Poachers in the Count's Valley, they huddle together as I ride up with my guards, making a poor job of hiding a dead stag. You know, it's not that I care about this sort of thing. Who do we have here? Eberhard, a local poacher. Would you care to join me? I mean, we're all fellow poachers here. Well, we gained a new camp member for that, and we have spotted the boar. After it, we shall ride. The wood truly is the mantle of the poor, but as the boar flees in panic from foraging peasants, I feel my patience wearing thin. Surely there must be better things to do indeed today than picking roots and mushrooms. I could pay them off, or I could just collect a few. Well, I mean, we're hunting boars, so roots and mushrooms probably go pretty well with that. Let's pick some mushrooms with that. I can't murder the peasants, so... After hours of riding, we are finally cornering the wily beast. Our chase has not been in vain. And with that, I have gained the hunter trait, and we have gotten the boar tusk, which is giving some prestige, so that's a good thing. And with that, we have finished our hunt. And we can then, how far along are we here? Still 4 months until completion. I'm waiting for the events, actually. Usually there are some events for this. Let's return to Klingenberg in the meantime and see what else we can find. But first of all, I shall equip my famed boar tusk that I have captured. And then we'll be back to the capital. I believe once my attempts at getting into the good graces of the princess, and under her skirts, have either come to fruition or have failed. That'll be the time when we'll move on. I make sure to pass through Frankfurt on a day of a practiced jousting meet. Princess Adelaide's officers are milling about, instructing young knights, and I find her wandering among them. Whatever intentions I had, her attention is clearly on her duties as the lady of these soldiers. The other problem is that the Princess Adelaide of the Holy Roman Empire is generally disliking intimate contact, avoiding the temptations of the flesh. Let's see if we can change her mind on that. We could discuss... let's see what she's got. So she's chaste, greedy, and humble, and she is quite learned. So that will her learning is the highest. So that's probably the best way to go about it. So we could go to her thoughtful side, thrifty side, or malicious side. Well, she doesn't have a malicious side. She is greedy. The stewardship isn't great though. So we could go. I think we will appear a thoughtful gentleman to her and see if we can convince her that way. Walking the battlements, Princess Adelheid and I shared many thoughts on how best to employ novice warriors, such as the ones in the courtyard below. By the end of the day, I could tell that she felt as pleased with our discussions as I did, even for all our discussions' many diversions, or perhaps because of them. So we have gained a smoldering chemistry, which is going to improve the success chance, but I believe the overall success chance is still not particularly great, mostly because of her general opinion of me. But we are, it is a bit of a challenge for Bernard. All right, the ransom cages have been completed, and that gives me the manhaggler officer role, and unlocks the abduct scheme. So if we're not busy trying to get holy women to do unholy things, then we might look into catching a few rich people and then asking for ransom to bring them back. Well, with that, I think the next step is going to be to upgrade the pavilion. It is expensive, but we'll do that. Unfortunately, our coin is beginning to run a little low in these lands, simply because the criminal underworld has been very, very quiet recently. Unfortunately, for the new role, we have only average. We have only average people in terms of aptitude. It's mostly down to diplomacy. So they do need a good amount of diplomacy, and it helps if they're callous, sadistic, greedy, or diligent. So we might have to start looking for somebody who fulfills these roles. And obviously, apparently, no, women can do this as well. So we'll keep an eye out and see if we can find somebody who fulfills that particular purpose. Now or never. The princess's reactions to my advances tell me everything I need to know. A time has come to put my plan into action, yet I fear the consequences. Princess Adelheid's brother, Kaiser Heinrich, and his agents could be hiding in the shadow, listening through any wall. Never mind, we will go ahead anyway. I do realize that the success chance is at 5%, which is very low. So I think... unless we're very lucky, Bernard is going to learn the first important lesson, and that is that he needs to work on his skills. But however, either way around, we go forward. As I made my climb up to Princess Adelheid's window, her shocked scream was not the welcome I had in mind. I had no time to stop for her before she runs at the door and flings it open. "Help, guards! There's an intruder in my chambers!" Before the night gets any worse, I crawl back the way I came. I might have misjudged her eagerness. Oh, good grief. Yeah, she has been, in the end, I think that was a bit overly ambitious. So with that, I think it is time that we make our way out of here. There is a transport contract. We'll see if that heads in the right direction. Otherwise, we're stocked up on supplies, and it's about high time that we leave these lands. And I think, Bernard has learned an important lesson, and that is that after we're done with stewardship, we're going down this one. Because I think there are a fair few interesting things here. We've got the enticing opportunity, it'd be good. We've got... there's something that removes attraction penalties. That is also pretty good. So a fair few. So probably that upper triangle here is going to be the first one we'll step into. But yeah, for now we'll make our way out of here, escape from the Holy Roman Empire before she can talk to her brother, and we get into really big trouble with the Kaiser. Our path is set before us. We shall make our way towards Praha, where King Vratislav reigns, and we'll see in Castle Prague, and we will reach eastern Bohemia, and from there on we'll move eventually southeast towards Constantinople. But first, we have to get away from the Kaiser and make sure that he doesn't catch up after what we tried to do to his sister rather unsuccessfully. And yes, Bernard for now will have to make do with the bathhouse wenches.